So the more information that we can actually collect, the more we will know about our prospect, and the better our messaging will be as we guide them along the journey in stage two. And that's kind of the key. We're going to guide them, so the more we know about them, the better. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is another Monday morning at time of this recording, and my name is Tanner O'Brien. I am the founder and CEO of Benefic Marketing, a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas, a just genuine lover of marketing, finance, operations, kind of everything to do with business and how we apply the lessons in business into our own businesses and kind of some of the lessons and things like that. So with that, I just want to jump in and talk about a few concepts because last week I walked through the concept of a consideration system when it comes to marketing and effective marketing in business. And this is really that first stage in building relationship with our ideal customers. So this week, I wanted to take a little bit of time to break down how to actually create a consideration system within kind of our businesses. So the first step here, the first stage is attracting our ideal customer into our ecosystem. This stage is all about getting our business or our product into the prospect's sphere of influence. There are many ways to go about this, from paid ads, kind of word of mouth, flyers, social media posts, telemarketing, and so on. Like any of these things can work to bring our business or our product into the prospect sphere of influence. So think of this stage as the very first time that the prospect has seen any of our stuff. So the goal is simply just to attract their eyeballs and make them aware that we exist. Once we have their attention, our second goal then of this stage is to invite them to join our ecosystem. This could be as simple as asking them to give us a follow or a subscribe to the channel, or my personal favorite, invite them to fill out an opt-in form. When we were ultimately we want to collect as much information as possible at this point so that we can guide them along the journey to make the purchase from us down the road. So asking for a follow or a subscribe, it's easy. For opt-in forms, we typically have to give them something of value in exchange. This is kind of our lead magnet or engagement offer, which I discussed in depth kind of a few weeks ago. So the more information that we can actually collect, the more we will know about our prospect, and the better our messaging will be as we guide them along the journey in stage two. And that's kind of the key. We're going to guide them, so the more we know about them, the better. Once we have them in our ecosystem, either as a follower of kind of our own database or on our own database, the thing that we actually own, our email list, things like that, we can shift that focus to nurture into guidance. This is where the relationship building really truly begins. As a bonus, with some platforms such as Facebook, it is currently possible to track visitors with pixels, allowing us to kind of bypass the need to gain some of their contact information and allow us to retarget them, really just follow them around with ads, which is the ability to keep them in our sphere of influence. This is a great addition to our strategy, but it shouldn't be used in lieu of collecting contact information. We still want to get our prospects into our own database that we can own and we can ultimately control longer term. So that's stage one. Stage two then is the nurture and guidance stage. Now that we have kind of our ideal customers in our ecosystem or our sphere of influence, it's time that we become professional relationship builders and professional salespeople. For those of you that need a refresher, sales is the process of helping others to buy or make a purchase decision. So this is where we get to become that professional salesperson. If you recall back to kind of the video from last week, I had asked you to think through how you made a recent purchase decision. I'd asked you to think about all of the homework that you did before making the decision. Likely this involved reviewing a website, checking out some reviews, watching a video or two, possibly talking to someone and getting kind of their ideas and thoughts and experience with things, etc., that sort of thing. Now we bring this forward and think through what this means for our business and our products. How many different ways are our ideal customers looking for and consuming information on the products or services that we offer? What types of questions do they have? What are the most common objections? Do they watch videos? Do they listen to podcasts? Do they review infographics, websites, search on Google? Like, what are all the different things that they do and that are happening? When we identify the most common questions, the most common methodologies of kind of doing research, or our prospects doing research, then we can actually prioritize these types of content that we need to start with. For most of us, we have small teams, and it's not yet possible to be in all places at once and still be effective. So it's really important that we focus on the most common questions and most common modalities and create content around this first. It gives us kind of a prioritized way to tackle this project. So as an example, if I owned a restaurant, I would likely be heavily focused on cultivating reviews. Online reviews are usually the first place that many prospects will go to determine whether the restaurant is worth trying or not. This means I likely need to put in a reminder system, consistently ask for reviews from my current customers, things like that. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, if I'm selling software, video demonstrations, FAQs on my website, those types of things may be the most common starting point for prospects for this. In which case, I would spend more time creating short demo videos on various features, listing out answers to the most commonly asked questions, and that sort of thing. That becomes kind of the priority for that specific type of an example. Each business will be different depending on the product or the service that the type of customer in the business is looking to attract. Identification and prioritization gets us started. Then we can go to work and start creating content that guides our prospects to the destination we want them to go. What makes a consideration system even more impactful is when we have collected the prospect's contact information, as we kind of talked about earlier, and when we have a name and an email and a phone number, we actually have more ways in which we can guide them along the journey. So think about it this way: with contact information in hand, we don't have to rely only on them seeing us online, via social media, paid ads, Google search, etc. We can actually proactively start sending timely messages with some of our FAQs, our demo videos, some of the rave reviews that we have, etc. Knowing kind of where they are in the process and what tends to be the most common, we can proactively go about sending them the things that are going to matter to them the most. The consideration phase should mirror much of our sales flowchart. So the goal is to help the prospect identify that they have a challenge or a gap, guide them to articulate that they have that need, and provide an opportunity to solve this for them with, of course, our product or service. So to build out great nurture sequences, phone, text, email scripts, frequency, etc., we have to take a look at our current sales process and work closely with our sales team. So over the coming weeks, we'll be taking a little bit deeper look into the sales process and the sales psychology behind kind of what we do. We'll be covering how this relates back to our marketing and how to really nail that handoff from marketing to sales, resulting in less leads, less missed leads, and ultimately more new clients and customers along the way. So we will see you in the next one next week. Make sure you give us a quick follow and subscribe to this beautiful channel and podcast here. And we will continue to provide some value as we talk about marketing, business, finance, kind of all the different things that come along with running a successful business. I'm Tanner O'Brien. We'll see you next week.